I have failed no less than 100 times this year. No less. And I'm going to tell you some of the places I failed. I have failed professionally. I have failed personally. I have failed in the gym. I have failed going out in public. I have failed in the store. I have failed across the freaking board. All kinds of stuff going on here. And I just started thinking about that. It's been close to maybe 100 times this year. And I was thinking, because this was the gist of the conversation. This was the gist of the conversation. There was someone in the forum, and they were talking about they were trying to be an internet marketer, and they started 4 months ago, and they failed like 2 or 3 times. And I was just like, what the fuck? 4 months, 2 or 3 times? My first book took one, two, three iterations to get it right, and I just pushed past that. And that was just on that endeavor. And I was just sitting there, and I was just like, you got to be kidding me. You're like one of the weakest little bitches I've ever seen. 3 times and you're out? This isn't a baseball game. This is fucking life. And I was just looking at that, and I was just like, you got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. Then I started to think, most people define failure as something that means it's over. It's the end. That's it. It's a wrap. There are no other possible outcomes. I failed. I'm embarrassed. I can't go on. And I really started thinking. This kind of goes back to the psychology of success. I don't see failure, and I'm not gonna clean it up and say different outcomes for people. It's just if you're trying to do something and you fail. Other day I was in the gym and I was trying to get 650 on the deadlift. Bitch didn't move. It was just like, ugh! I was like, okay, I'm not trying to shoot a nut across the gym. So I went and took off 2 plates and barely got that rep. I wasn't ready for it. That was a fail. That was a fail attempt. Um, I don't do that with squats as much. I'm pretty much because definitely other things can happen. But didn't work out. There was a lot of things in the gym. There's several things. The other day, overhead press. I'm trying to do like 225. It went halfway up and it said, "Ha ha ha! Not today, boy." And it came down. And I put down 215 and knocked it out. And one of the things that hit me, I put myself in a position to fail. You have to put yourself in a position to fail to win. Many of you are afraid to put yourself in a position to fail. You're also afraid to put yourself in a position to be successful. I had a close friend tell me about something that was going on, and she's like, "Well, you shouldn't do this. You have too much to lose." And I figured, like, if I go don't do this, I have more to lose. And I went ahead with my plan, and everyone was like, "It's not going to work. It's not going to work." And pooh, yeah, that shit worked better than it shit worked better than I ever thought it would. It was amazing. And once again, and I'm not trying to be insulting, but going off with, I don't know if Will Smith said it or someone else, but you are defined by people that you spend the most time with. I really believe that because I am, I've kind of moved my group around a little bit because when I was getting all this flack and stuff, and this person, she's part of that other group, and when I'm dealing with folks that hadn't really pushed themselves, they are some scared little bitches. They're just running fucking scared. Everything is scary. Well, if you do this and fail, what? What's going to happen? What? What's going to happen? I'm just sitting there like, what's really going to happen? And it hit me. These people are not used to putting themselves in position of failure because it hurts too much. They do not have the mental stamina to push past that stuff. And I was just like, wow, you really, really have to really learn how to do this because if you can't get past the failure aspect, where if you're talking about you try something for a few months or even a year is not a long period of time. A year for something to start and actually turn out really nice is an exceptionally short period of time. I know many of you are looking for something to happen. You start Monday, you get killer results Friday. You can get results, but killer results, I'm not seeing that. So to be an entrepreneur, to be a hustler, to go ahead and have this life that you want, you have to put yourself in a position to fail. consistently. You have to put yourself in a position to fail. If you don't, you're not going to go where you want to go. I'm going to tell you something in just a minute. Uh, just hold on 1 second, because in the G verse, we have to pay some bills. All right, this is Glendon Cameron with Hustler Consulting. This is how you get your Hustler Consulting requested video done. Go to the link in the video, make your purchase, and during the checkout process, enter your question here. Once you're done, just check out. Your video will be done within 24 to 72 hours. And an added benefit, if your question makes more than $50 through the donation process, you will receive your feedback. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the good side. All right. Okay, now I'm back. Now, I'm going to tell you some other stuff where I have failed. I've had a lot of people, once again, I go forward because I realize that many of the people who are here, who are part of the G-verse, they're not internet marketers, they're not writers. They, someone that put up something about something being foolish when they had no clue what they were talking about, because it worked out amazingly well because I took a chance. And it hit me. And then once again, I'm really, really working hard not to be insulting, but how can you understand me if you've never walked in my shoes? Because, I really look at some of the things that are going on here. 2009, I was doing something totally different. Storage auction business and everything. I took a chance with the writing thing. It worked out. I took a chance with the internet marketing thing. It worked out. I took a chance with YouTube. It worked out. I took a chance with Conundrum Media. It worked out. I took a chance with Hustlers University. It worked out. I took a chance with the Hustler Minds. Do you see where I'm going? I have put so much stuff out that by nature of the default of the universe, something had to work. Because out of all those things I just said, I didn't tell you about all the shit that failed. I would say my failure rate is like fucking 80%. It's about 80%, which is a win because it used to be fucking 100%. So that's a 20% improvement over the last, decade or so. I consider that awesome. So let's mathematically break this down. And this is why many of you are not going where you want to. You're not trying enough. You're not putting enough effort. And the minute that you get those hurtful little feelings and things don't work out, it's like a little dog with your leg between your legs, and you run off into the side. Oh, I can't do this no more. It hurts so bad to fail. I haven't even done shit. It's only been 30 minutes. Shit like that. But yeah, I would say my failure rate is 80%. I put stuff out all the time. People unsubscribe from the list, and they're just like, oh, that's too much. It's too much. I want Glendon to put out what I want that's going to serve me, and I want to make it really cheap, and I want to make it efficient. Fuck what Glendon wants to do. And, this is once again on creating a life of design and intent. Because, see, this is what I know. All right, let's take go back metrically to my failure rate of 80%, which is a vast improvement over what it used to be. So essentially, for every 5 things I try, one's going to work out. So what does that tell me? To you, and if you're insulted, fuck you. To you, if you're like, God, 5 times, one's not going to work out. It's not worth the effort. It's just too much. Oh my God, 80%. No, I can't do that. Then you're clueless. You're a fucking idiot and you're clueless, because someone who's really smart is going to say, whoa. So every time, if I do 5 things, one's going to work out. So I really need to do 20 things if I want 4 things to work out. Then I need to do 40 things if I want 8 to work out. And I need to do 100 so 20 things work out. That's if you're really thinking. But if you're a scared little bitch, and if you just can't deal with the rigors of life, because see, there's 2 people that come to this channel. Actually 3. I'll discuss the first 2, because they're good people. There's people who are like, they're tired of being lied to. Just sick and tired of being lied to. Sick and tired of someone saying, hey, if you do this, you're going to be a millionaire in 2 years. I don't tell you that message. I tell you, hey, you're going to fail. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to look stupid. But if you keep on, eventually you'll figure it out and you'll be successful. When will that happen? I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. But I can look at my experiences, however myopic they may be, but from me to go where I was, where I was in that fucking boarding house with no heat and no AC, living that life to living this life where I am free to do whatever I want to do, to sit here and talk to you in the middle of the day. That is a lesson that I think is worth people learning. And the second group come because they like me and they respect me, but they hate the fact that I'm right too much. I'm not always right. I fuck up. Like I said, my failure rate's 80%, so I'm not always right. But I am right a lot, and I'm really right on a bunch of big shit. And then the third group just come to hate. It's just like, I have nothing to do. I've jacked off 8 times today, so let's see what Glendon doing. Oh, dislike. I see that now. It's just like, why? Why are you even wasting your time and energy to do that? I mean, it's just really masturbation with no payoff. But you do it. So, but the two groups, and there are people, because I watch discussions, and I got Google alert whenever my name's mentioned, so people are talking about me and stuff, and it's just like, and I've seen people have fights about me. It's just like, oh, he's a scam artist, blah 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 blah, and I've had people I don't even know. It's just like, look, I understand you don't like Glendon, but he's not a scam artist. I bought his products, and then all the other folks jump in on that one person or two people who are like saying I got benefit, and I was just like, man, these guys are really going hard. And then it gets real interesting because here it is. I'm going into my 6th year of this. You have people who have petered out after a year or two. So longevity makes a big difference. And why am I able to hang in here so long? Because I can deal. I'm not going to say that I'm comfortable with failure. I'm going to say I can deal with failure. There's a big difference between dealing with failure and being comfortable with failure. I am not comfortable. I put out a product and I send it out on the list, and y'all just go, we don't want that shit. And I have to go, okay, they don't want that shit. To the scrapyard it goes. Maybe I'll look at it later. Maybe I'll tweak it a little bit. But when I put out something and a bunch of people that don't know each other all say the same thing, it's a booty product. It's booty. That's what it is. I try to tell this to my writer friends in the writer group. It's like, just because you slaved on that shit for 10 years doesn't mean people want to read it. And it's just like I'm being hateful. And it's just like, no, it's not that you didn't work hard. It's like people who went ahead and got degrees and got the 4.0 and was on the dean's list and did all this stuff, and they can't even find a job. Even Starbucks is saying, fuck you. You did a great job. You got that 4.0. You stayed out of trouble. It's just the information that you spent all of your money, your hard-earned time, your time. You no one wants that shit. No one wants that shit. It's just that simple. It's just that plain. They don't want that shit because someone posted in Hustler University. You should join it if you're not a member. A lot of fun stuff goes on there. That this girl was going on about having a degree, 4.0, doing all this stuff, and she said something not once but twice. She said, I see all of these people who never even went to school, and they don't have a degree, and they're making way more money than people with degrees. She didn't say once, she said twice, because it burns, it hurts. It's like, this is kind of bad here. These motherfuckers don't have degrees and they're making more money than me. And my well-educated ass is suffering. And she went on, and I was just like, I felt bad for her because she's waking up, but it's a little late because she's already got all that student loan debt. And that is one of the things that happens when you don't learn to critically think. Because like I was saying, if you put out some stuff and no one's buying, and this is a lesson I learned from selling thousands and thousands and thousands of products. Okay, you put some up, you can relist that shit for 25 times. It's just like no one wanted. And this isn't like long tail items. That book that's worth $2,000 and you leave it on Amazon for 2.5 years and someone will come along and pay. I'm not talking about that. I am talking about you being frustrated because you don't know what the fuck you're doing and putting up products and relisting stuff. I relisted it 5 times. Those motherfuckers need to buy. No, they don't. Their kung fu is better than yours. Trust me on this. So learn to deal with failure. I think that is hands down one of the most important things about being an entrepreneur, about being a hustler, about really learning how to go forward in life, because you're going to have disappointments. You're going to have situations that are just not going to come out the way that you want. And if you can somehow learn how to push through it and just like, fuck, I failed, but I'm going to get up and I'm going to fight again. And I'm going to fight again and I'm going to fight again. And then one day you're going to start throwing, you can start throwing bowls and motherfuckers are going to start getting knocked out. It's like, bah, damn, I just barely tapped it. And it isn't that they became weak, it's because you became better from the fight, from being down there, from making it happen, for not being a scared little bitch. And, oh God, I can't do this, or they'll talk about me. I was actually out, and I mentioned that I started this new online school called Hustler University. Most people would be afraid to say that. They was like, oh God, hustler. I was in a group and someone's like, when I saw that, I got a different kind of connotation, Glenda. Fuck you, because your little weak ass can't deal with a broader concept. Fuck you. That's where I'm at with this, because I have seen what happens to people who become wedded to false narratives. The outcome is not good. I keep telling y'all, jobs are disappearing. The career path is changing. In 10 years, you're going to see a radically different work environment. You're going to see many of you who are professionals, accountants, attorneys, you're going to work out of your house. If you have a house or an apartment, if you're not living with mama, because people are realizing, why am I going to spend all this money for an office when I just need you to type on the computer, put some spreadsheets, put some reports, or talk to some people? I don't need to spend $1 million on the building to do that. I might, if it's a tax write-off, I might do that, but I don't need to get you to work. So you're going to see many lean startups. You're going to see people with 4 and 5, 4 and 5 people that are going to actually do very well in business because they understand. They totally understand. And what I'm saying is, you have to become comfortable with failure. Are comfortable with dealing with failure. Let me say that again to be clear. You have to become comfortable with dealing with it, because if you don't, it's just going to be really hard for you to be as successful as you want to be. It is. That's just how it's going to be, and that's the reality of it. So take what you will. Hopefully you enjoyed this rant. Hopefully you enjoyed me calling some of you scared little bitches, because I know I get all kinds of dislikes. I don't care. And if you like the channel, you like the content,